Hey everybody, get in here. It is Friday, Full Bowl Friday. This is the Yankey show. Get in here and join in on the show. We will start in just a minute. I give you a little time to get in, mostly because I need a little bit of time. That's what the music is for, to give me a little bit of time. This is complicated. This is not as easy as I make it appear to be. But welcome to the show. Thanks for coming. This is a live, interactive chat show where we can and do talk about absolutely everything. So come on in and join in on the discussion. Now, as usual, I've got some stuff planned for us to get into and talk about to get us going. But after that, this always becomes a conversation. So join in on it. Participate in the show. Let me know you're here. If it's your first time, say hi. We don't bite. Well, some of us bite, but it's playful. Don't worry about it. But this is something that you've for sure never seen before. And we gather right here every night, Monday through Friday, on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. So welcome back. And like I said, please like and share this show. We are completely independent and depend 100% on the viewers. And any support, any participation in the show is good. So if you're digging it, hit them like buttons on Facebook or smash the like on YouTube and hit share for sure. Get this out, invite your friends, whatever you can do. That all is free. If you'd like to become a supporter of the show, though, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Shawn Yankey. But let me see who's here, and we can get started before I get going with what I have planned for us. Helen got first tonight on Facebook. Hey, Helen. Hey, Heath. Yep, it's finally Friday. I was waiting for Friday. Yesterday, some of you know, it was resin times, and it's hard times at the Yankey house. But it's Friday now, and everything's all right. Hey, Dale. Hey, Joan. That's right. Let the fun begin. It's time. Hey, Rebecca. Oh, thank you for inviting people. I really appreciate that stuff. Volume's good, Helen says. Was the music too loud? I was kind of concerned. Hey, Dot Connector. Hey, Jeff. Jeffrey. Jeff or Jeffrey? But hey, welcome back. I'm just going to say Jeffrey for now because that's what it says on the screen. But good to see some people here on YouTube. And hi, Periscope. I see you. Can't see your comments yet, but I'm working on it. We will get that figured out. But let's see. He says tired. Work or jail, as I call it, was long today. Man, they've been killing me at work. They've been killing me at work. Joan says don't hold back on the volume. It was great last night. We're at the same level, so it should sound exactly like it did last night. But I am going to try something. Hey, Slace. Call you Jeff. All right. Deal. You got it. Hey, Slace. Good to see you. But we're going to try something a little different tonight. I am going to talk about some news stories, but I'm going to be showing them as we look at them. I think it'll look better. But navigating through it is going to be a little bit of a challenge because I'm going to be doing it live. So I just wanted to warn you. I think it's going to go good, though. It's well planned out for sure. You're working 60 hours a week, Heath? Man, I'm up to some overtime, but not 60 hours. You know, my nice paychecks, though, no. But anyways, here in a second, we'll get started. I got some stuff that I want to get into, and it's going to be a little bit of a rocky start to what I have planned out to talk about. But stick with it, because in the center here, we're going to tie it all together and explain why I chose to cover the first four things we're going to talk about. But now that I see that we're good everywhere and everything's going good and we're streaming good, I've got to go over and get my phone. I forgot my other device because when I do what I'm about to do, I won't be able to see any comments. So this will allow me to be able to at least see some if I go get the phone. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. You know, it's funny because this is going to allow me to do a little experiment. Anytime I've ever gotten up during a feed, the algorithm or whatever takes a picture during the feed, and that's what it gives you as a thumbnail. And for whatever reason, if I ever get up during a feed, it takes a picture then of the empty red box with no one in it. It's been my thumbnail a couple different occasions, because that has happened before. Riley's playing Minecraft and listening. Brett says practice on us. Right on. We're getting ready to practice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the set here. So Hold on. I thought I was ready. This is a thing with live shows. You are never as ready as you think you are. And I thought I shared this. Yankey. I don't know why. Oh, wow. Thank you, everybody that shared. I just noticed how many shares we have on Facebook. Thank you so much. We're hesitating on YouTube, skipping on Facebook, rather. Let me check my settings. Dude, we should be crystal clear. We're great. Bitrate's great. Frames per second is great. Anybody else experiencing that? But I'm going to go ahead and do this. Just pull the Band-Aid off. Helen says it too. Froze up. All right, well, we'll see. So I wanted to get into a few different stories with you guys. And I thought it would be best to do it where you could see what I was talking about. And I'm going to try to paint a little bit of a picture. I'm going to take you on a little journey through some stories and try to tie it all together. So we'll see how this goes. But the General Lee is in trouble, y'all. They're coming for the General Lee. And it's Amazon, but censorship has been corporatized, which we're going to tie into later in another thing I want to bring up. But the Amazon is threatening, at least at this point, to pull Dukes of Hazzard off of all of its streaming services and to stop selling General Lee merchandise through Amazon because of the Confederate flag on top of the car. And that got me to thinking, like I'm saying, you can't stop talking about what's actually happening right now with the protests and all of that. So this is a story. I could have pulled up any story in the protest, but this is a story about them pulling down the Confederate statues. A lot of different statues were pulled down during protests, Confederate statues, which honestly I think have no business being there, and were put there to rub it in the faces of black people. That's what they're for, and they should come down. So I'm for it. I think it's great, but that's not really the point of what I'm talking about. It's just that they got us all riled up, and this is all going on, and they're egging it on. But then you have this. I swear this is going to come together. So the New York Police Union head says the media is now portraying police as the enemy. And they are. You've probably noticed this, but look at this dude. I think he's hilarious looking. And then they all have that asshole stance. Did you notice? Look at all of them. Anyways, he's right. The media is pumping up the police as villains. And they are pushing a propaganda campaign right now to rev up the people. That's what I think they're doing. And they are vilifying the police, which is new. It's not something they usually do. But you got to ask yourself why. Why is that going on, and why is that happening? And we're going to get to that here in a little bit. But this one was giving me trouble all day. Okay, there it goes. The elderly protester from the Black Lives Matter protest that was pushed down by the police, he has suffered brain injury after being shoved to the ground. They're saying that he, where is it? He's been hospitalized since the incident and has suffered brain trauma. He's starting physical therapy today, which is definitely a step in the right direction, they say. He's got himself a lawyer. He's lawyered up. But his name is Martin Gugino. And I looked him up, He's an activist. He's been an activist for a long time. I didn't look super deep into him. And I also haven't had a chance, Helen, to look through and analyze those pictures. But I was trying to see in any of these if I could see the hose in the apparatus. But this is what I was going to get to. Hopefully people are still with me. I noticed that we kind of stalled out a little bit viewer-wise during that. This is what I wanted to get to. This is all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and we're being played. It's propaganda, right? They are vilifying the police. They are pushing that agenda because they're trying to rile everybody up. That's why they're going after the General Lee. That's why NASCAR is banning Confederate flags and rolling out the Black Lives Matter car. It's all the same thing. It's propaganda. They're pushing a message, trying to rile people up, get everybody excited, and get everybody mad and angry, and focused on things that don't matter. But let's see. This is Goebbels, Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's minister of propaganda, his principles for propaganda. You want to appeal to emotions. Constantly repeat just a few ideas. Use stereotyped phrases. And give only one side of the argument. That's why you'll see a lot of media is just from one side or one angle or one opinion. Continuously criticize your opponents. And then pick out one special enemy for special vilification. That's like the media. They only ever really focus on one thing. They're running news all day long, 24 hours a day. They don't seem to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. But what are Goebbels' principles of propaganda? The things that he said you need is propagandists must have access to intelligence concerning events and public opinion. Now, do they? And propaganda must be planned and executed by only one authority. Is that possible? I think it is. All media is owned by 6 corporations. One agenda could be in control of it all. But it goes on and on. This is exactly what's happening. It's propaganda, and this is exactly the style of propaganda they're using. They never stopped with this shit. We've covered that before in many different ways, whether it be technology or philosophy. But moving on. So we covered current events as far as the riots go. Let's get into what is really going on financially. So they're hyping up Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter is getting a ton of attention, which means they're also getting a ton of donations. There's also a lot of money involved here, a lot of money at stake. And the money turns out, I hate this mouse, the money turns out to be going to Act Blue. And it says, Act Blue says they only take a 4% processing fee, but all of the money is being funneled through Act Blue. And A leads to B. You know, you got a rat in the house. Not only is there that, but the money behind Black Lives Matter. You know, George Soros is not funding this movement out of the goodness of his heart. He's funding it because it is helping drive forth the agenda that he's pushing. That's why. You know, and it's a circle. They're playing us. They're playing us. And then the money is being funneled to Act Blue, which is basically just funneling it to the Democratic Party. So just know what you're doing when you're giving money. Know who you're donating to and what they're about and what they're going to do with what you give them and who's benefiting. And then think about all of that. Now I wanted to get some other stuff. I'm trying to do it with I'm trying to close pages without opening them. I think part of the problem is I have too much open. So I'm going to close everything we've already looked at. Please forgive this. I know this is distracting. Hopefully no one suffers from anything like seizures. But this is a story that I wanted to cover. We talk about Big Brother censorship all the time because censorship has been corporatized. There is still censorship. It's rampant. But it's not so much the government doing it or the man. The man is spread out now. It is all still the man. But it's corporations doing it. Well, Facebook has pitched a new tool that allows employers to suppress words in the workplace. You know, dangerous words like unionize. So Facebook is launching Facebook Workplace. And it's an internet-style chat and office collaboration product similar to Slack. And on Facebook Workplace, employees see a stream of content, whatever their employer wants them to see, probably training videos, etc., etc. And then also have like an opportunity to socialize amongst each other. As long as they don't want to talk about certain things. Because one of the things that they offered in their pitch, because they're trying to get companies to invest in this as a product, you know, and the thing that they were offering is we can suppress what speech is allowed on the device. Big Brother is corporate now. This next part, just this next section, I swear to you this is not political. I'm no longer political. But I wanted to get into this article from TruthDig. It's a really good article, by the way. TruthDig's a good site. Not every one of these sites that I pulled up tonight I vouch for. This would be one of them that I do. But the Democrats are not ignoring their Biden problem. That's the point that this article misses. The Democrats aren't ignoring their Biden problem. They don't care. They don't care. You know, I think it's a big part of their belief system at play. They like to rub shit right in your face. Now, they're going to lose. They're not going to win. They have no hope of winning this election. And I think they're rubbing it in our face. You know, they let us have this little run at a revolution and pulled the rug out from under us. And they're just laughing at us, I think. I don't think they're ignoring their problem. I think they think the American people are so stupid that they can shove Biden down their throat. And they are. They're still talking about him like he's the nominee, like it's over. That the convention's already happened. He may not make it. The media is not even doing a good job of covering Joe Biden because he's not mentally fit. But he has narrowed down his list of VP candidates now. And it includes Elizabeth Warren. That is the only reason why I brought this up. Right there. Why? What for? What for? These other names make sense to me. Like Harris or Susan Rice. I get that. This one? What vote is she going to get you? What vote is Elizabeth Warren possibly going to pull in? There's no progressives that consider Elizabeth Warren to be a true progressive anymore. At all. I think everybody knows what's up with Elizabeth Warren now at this point. Now, we're going to start taking a turn to a new subject. And we're going to start with a bit of Trump news. Now, I don't like CNN as a rule. I don't like CNN. But they had the best coverage of this. Other places were covering this. This is true. I verified it. Trump campaign says it can't be held liable if rally attendees contract the coronavirus. And the attendees of President Trump's upcoming rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma must agree not to sue the campaign if they contract the coronavirus. Rally goers are asked to RSVP to gain admission to the event, and by registering, They must agree to a disclaimer that states that they acknowledge the inherent risk of exposure to COVID 19 exists in any public place where people are present. And by attending the rally, you and any guest voluntarily assume all risk related to exposure to COVID 19 and agree not to hold Donald J. Trump for president, blah, 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 or their affiliates, directors, officers, employers, agents, contracts, or volunteers liable for illness or injury. Why? Why? Why have the rally then? You know, if you don't think it's safe, don't have it. But, like I told you, the second wave is coming, y'all. Get ready to surf the second wave because the second wave's on its way. The CDC is now pumping it up. The news media is changing direction. They're starting to talk about it. You weren't hearing about it at all during the protests when they were pushing the shit out of that. You weren't hearing about it at all. But halftime's over and it's coming back. So the CDC has announced that we're not out of the woods yet and that large gatherings with the COVID-19 risk are a problem. We shouldn't be doing that anymore. And we need to wear these face masks. We need to get to these restrictions. We need to start reminding people that this is so dangerous because they're getting ready to lock us down again. I really think we're getting ready to get locked down again and see these restrictions roll back into place. And they're going to roll out the fear campaign again. But there was many articles I had brought up originally. Originally, I had like 35 tabs open for this. This little experiment got a little out of hand at first. But they're hyping the shit out of a problem erupting in America, even on the global stage. With the WHO and different organizations, they're saying that the COVID risk is the highest in the Americas. So I think the second wave is going to be a little bigger than the first, maybe. They're going to lay it on pretty heavy. They have already seen that they can get everybody to turn on their friends and relatives and everybody and gaslight the shit out of you and shame you with very little evidence. So they're going to come out swinging this time, I think. But that brings me to this one, which is on the Hill, which is not a site that I recommend, but it's a story that needs to be covered because this global food shortage that you're hearing about and it's being talked about and it's being caused by the Rona, like this report says, is not, though. It's manufactured. It doesn't need to be happening. It doesn't need to be taking place. It's part of their agenda, and it's part of the agenda to cause panic for what's coming. You know, things are going to get really bad for regular people. And we need to stop being distracted with this propaganda and stop fighting amongst ourselves and bickering and squabbling and come together because we're heading for bad times. And there's no reason for this. There's none. And it is not caused by the coronavirus. It's a plan at play. Now, all that was depressing. I want to go out on a high note and cover something for a friend. This was not covered at all. Did anybody hear about this one today? Most of you probably did. The people that gather here seem to be very well informed, but most people probably didn't. The Senate is subpoenaing... I can't talk today. It is Full Bowl Friday. Obama officials. And this Obamagate is taking off. I find it hard to hold out hope that elitists will ever really be held responsible. That anything will ever really happen to these people and that they've just been untouchable for so long. But I would love to see it happen. So, Clinton, if you're watching, I want you to know I brought this up. I want everybody to know it's going on. I have little faith that we're going to see anything. It's kind of like when they kept going after Hillary. People were like, lock her up, lock. It's never happening. I don't think so anyway. But let's see. You. This thing is messing with me, y'all. Hold on. Let's try this one. Haha. There we go. You fucker. You see my computer messing with me there? Alright. I feel like that didn't go very well. I don't know. But a lot of things went wrong. Like, I'm going to list them off. Because I'm going to roll back up and see what you guys have been talking about. And I didn't like that. I thought I'd be able to keep up on the phone. No. That don't work. I need it in front of me. Because otherwise, I'm doing this all the time. And that's got to be distracting. Jennifer says, how about we shut down the damn media? We definitely need to take as much attention away from it as possible. Don't interact with it for any reason. Just like I always beg for interaction at the beginning of the show, any interaction is good. There's no such thing as bad attention in entertainment. If you're paying attention to it, that's good. So even if you're sharing it to make fun of it, or sharing it to poke holes in it, or sharing it because it's bullshit, you're still sharing it. And people are still looking at it. And that's what they need. If we stop doing that, they die. Hey, Dale. Good to see you over here on YouTube. Cool Kid Room. Dale says, I think the problem was on my end. YouTube's acting fine. Dot Connector says people have lost their minds about deleting the past. Communist governments delete the past too. Slay says the stimulus money's going out. Oh, like stimulus money going out. I still haven't gotten that. The stimulus, the first stimulus. You know, they're talking about another stimulus. I still haven't gotten the first one. But that's what I didn't like about that. Did you guys like that? And did my little journey make sense? Did you get what I was trying to do there? That this is happening. It's going on. It's real. And there's people that are involved in these different causes with good intentions, but you're being played. We're being played. We're being manipulated. And that's what was important, or at least what I was trying to do there, is show that. But Jones says Trump said no lockdown next time, so get your affairs in order, I guess. I think you might be okay if you stay away from nursing homes. I didn't want to imply that I thought the second wave was going to be a real bad virus. I don't think the virus is a threat, honestly. I'm not a doctor. I feel like I should preface this by clarifying that I have not attended medical school and I have no expertise, but I'm just basing it on what I've seen from the first wave. And the statistics don't match up with the fear, but they're going to try to lay it on again. Lori said sharing it because it's truth. Aw, thank you. Lori says power concedes nothing without demand. Brett says, I called Mitch McConnell and they are being helpful. What? Are you from Kentucky? You called Mitch? Man. And they answered the phone. They're being helpful. Well, I'll be damned. No, Lori, you're right. The government, especially at the national level, isn't for the people. They're not. They're there for the moneyed interest. And that's what they're for. The illusion. They give us the illusion of control. The illusion of participation. But it's not real. Babels! Hey! How are you here? Babels has to work on Fridays and Saturday nights. Because being poor sucks. And a lot of times you have to work double jobs. But I'm glad you could make it, Babels. How's work going? Lori says, when did a corporation ever help you? And that's what the United States is. It's a corporation. We're no longer, and haven't been for hundreds of years. You know, I forget when this happened, but it was 18 something. And my memory is shit, so I'm not even going to try to remember. Oh, you're on a smoke break? Brett says over my daughter not getting her check. Oh, you called him over the stimulus. I've been told, Joan, I think, told me to call my congressman or call somebody. I don't know. Should I? I mean, it's $1,200. I need it. I'm not going to lie to you. I need it. Of course I do. Poor. Lori says, I've been an RN for 32 years. Take off the masks. A lot of healthcare professionals and doctors, including Fauci, have said that these masks are not healthy to wear. Fauci walked it back, but he meant it when he said it. It's true. Yeah, Lori, I won't stand for lies either. You know, everything that we do here, even when we're having fun, even on Full Bowl Friday, is centered around truth. So anything can come up on this show. Someone may show up and talk about Bigfoot, and we'll go with it. We can talk about absolutely anything, but we'll always be telling the truth or standing for the truth. Your mom hasn't gotten her stimulus either. You know, they're starting to talk about a second stimulus. They ain't even finished paying out the first one. Brett says, I called Washington and they said Louisville office was taking care of it. Maybe I do need to follow through. I definitely could use the money. I could use the money that YouTube owes me too. YouTube, you need to give me my money. You're going to take away my channel. Well, they didn't take away my channel, but they demonetized my channel, and then they need to pay me. Dreamweaver says the cops are portraying themselves as villains. Yeah, they're doing it to themselves. They always have been. Their problem isn't with that. They don't want to change their behavior. Their problem is in how they're being portrayed. Well, they're being portrayed to push an agenda. You know, the behavior's been going on forever. It's just not been having a camera pointed at it. Steve says, I think the virus is mutating to a less lethal state. More cases, but less hospitalization and death. I hope so. I know that whatever happens with it will probably not be anywhere near the fear they're going to roll out. Do you guys think I'm crazy? Do you think they're going to roll out another fear campaign? I kind of do. Lori says, coronavirus is a common cold variety. Kathy says, anything but underpants gnomes. Dude, they're real. And there's a sock monster. Where the hell do your socks go? Like, I've lost so many socks that I like. And it pisses me off because no matter how careful you are. My grandma used to why do I go blank on the stupidest friggin' words? Anyone that watches this show can tell you that happens at least once per show. She used to, I really can't get it, but clip them together, her socks. Maybe I need to do that. Judy Makovitz. Judy Makovitz has been slandered endlessly. Why? Why such a concerted effort to crush this woman if she's not telling the truth? If she's not saying anything of value, wouldn't she die off on her own? And she just go away? They can't trust you to take in information. They have to tell you what to accept and what to hear and what to listen to. Yeah, Makovitz is Fauci's arch nemesis. Fauci's establishment. Fauci gave her a lot of trouble during the AIDS epidemic. And the AIDS epidemic didn't need to get as far out of hand as it did. But they allowed it to. Brett says, I think the antibodies test is really a DNA test. Wouldn't surprise me for a second. Steve says viruses are always mutating, usually to a more benign state. Helen says, of course they will. Goo brain Biden is still a disaster and getting worse. Trump's even acting like he feels sorry for him. He is? Please don't feel sorry for him, Trump. Come out swinging. Get in his ass. Don't have any mercy on Joe Biden. My kitten is... I gotta save a kitten. Alright, she's a pain in the ass. Sorry about that. That was twice. That's inexcusable. Lori says she whistle blew on him and went to jail and lost her profession while Fauci made millions on killer vaxes and virus hoaxes. And he has. Do you know that he can patent and then push an agenda towards the shit that he's patented? And he does. And that's what people like him do. Helen said sweep the leg. I need to have no mercy. Because what it is she gets herself in trouble. And that's exactly what she just did. And she repeatedly does it. We have this thing that kind of hangs off the ceiling. And she'll climb all the way up it. And then doesn't know how to get down. And she'll start whining. And I thought it was bugging me. And I was afraid you could hear it. So I had to go get her. Otherwise, I would have ignored it for another 20, 30 minutes. But because I did not want to get up again. Yeah, Lori, Fauci and Gates patent illnesses and make a ton of money on it. Bill Gates, wow, we went from like 16 people to 9. The truth hurts. People don't like it. Bill Gates has doubled his net worth since becoming a philanthropist, since doing all of this donation and giving so much of himself. All right, I'm going to point this out. I realize I may have just run everybody off, but by getting up, but I don't think so 100%. There is analytics. They're better analytics on YouTube. And Dot Connector's here. You're a creator. Listen to this. Click-through rate on YouTube. They showed my show last night to almost no one. But the click-through rate on the thumbnail was 40%. That's really high for a click-through rate. That means 40% of the people that saw that thumbnail clicked on it. A good one is around, somewhere in the area of 2 is what they tell you to shoot for. But like 4 to 6 would be a pretty good average. I was averaging around 10 to 12 usually. I've never seen anything like a 40. But they didn't show it to hardly anybody. But 40% of the people they showed it to clicked on it. And I know that the same thing goes on every platform. And I try not to let it bother me. And I was kind of happier when Facebook didn't show me anything. If I was still where I could show you what I'm looking at, Facebook, to me, when I'm looking at it, is mostly just a text page. I can see your comments, and it's just text. But down in the little corner, they have this annoying little screen that it bugs the shit out of me because it shows me how many people are here. And I hate it because I try not to pay any attention to it, but I still do. I wish I could turn it off. For a long time, it wasn't there. Dot says, I've only seen one person wear a mask. Man, I have to wear one every day at work. Every day. All day. And it's got to be pulled up perfect. If you even let it slide down your nose, put your mask up. Like, all day. I hate it. And it makes... I know I'm more exhausted after work. I'm more tired. I have more trouble getting up in the morning. I feel worse. I'm more lethargic. I've noticed a lot of things since wearing this mask. And I don't feel good while I'm wearing it. Yes, Lace, don't go to the rally if you don't feel like taking the risk. Why the need for the disclaimer? I didn't know you could sue. So, are you saying that, like, if a band had a concert and I go to their concert and I get sick at their concert, I can sue them? The fuck is that? And in that situation, I can see them wanting people to sign that. Like, okay, we all want to have this rally. But somebody's going to try to pull some shit. So let's have a form. I can't believe you can sue somebody for getting sick. (1871) That's what I wanted to say. Why don't I ever trust myself, Dot? When I want to say a number, a lot of times I end up being right. And it pisses me off that I doubt myself every single time. Yeah, I knew you were being sarcastic, Slays. I misread it the first time, but I got it. Yeah, Brett, anyone can sue anyone, I guess, but that's outrageous. Kathy says enlarge your text and see if that moves the annoying screen out of the way. I don't know what would... Ooh! Ha-ha! Made it go away. Look, see, a lot of times it's just that I didn't try nothing. You know, I just let it be a nuisance. And, you know, that's a good lesson for everybody right here. Eliminate shit you don't like from your life. A lot of things that you don't like, if you really look into it, you're tolerating them. Just like I was tolerating that little box, and now it's gone. He said, I only wear mine when I'm within 6 feet of someone, which is hardly ever and only at work. Dude, I have to wear it all day. I can't get away with not wearing it. I'm under constant supervision, and never am out of the sight of my boss, so I can't get away with not wearing it. Joan said, I feel like I'm going to die just from wearing the mask in the store when I have to go. Dude, 9 hours of this thing every day. It's 6 of one, half a dozen on the other. Because, like, we're getting more money per hour to wear it. Not to wear it, but for the Rona. For being an essential employee and having to work with the public during this. We're getting a little boost per hour, which is nice. And I consider that the money that I'm being paid to wear the mask. You know, that's not what it is, but that's what I consider it. But even with that, I hate this thing. But I don't want to lose that money. You see what I'm saying? So it's like 6 of one, half a dozen on the other. Trust yourself, Dot Connector says. Absolutely. Man, I wanted to say 1871. Yeah, Dot. I'm trading my health for a few bucks per hour. I gotta wear it though. Well, it's that or quit my job. You know what I mean? It's mandatory. You can't even get out of it with a doctor's note. A kid tried. He brought a doctor's note. It didn't work. It wasn't good enough. He said he was getting, what did he say? What did his doctor's note say? That he was having carbon monoxide poisoning from the mask. He got a note from his doctor. Wasn't good enough. Lori has to wear it at work as a nurse, of course. But you go to your office and rip it off. Boost in pay is good. I don't want to say goodbye to that either. That's the one thing that I'm going to miss when this is all over, is the little extra money. But I can feel it in my throat even, like just an irritation after hours of wearing it. I know it's the mask. It's not in my head. It's the mask. Lori says, make me laugh, please. I always put the pressure on you, Helen. Yeah, Helen, come on. Make us laugh. Dance. Dance. Yeah, Rebecca, my health for a few bucks an hour, that's totally it. That's what we're all doing. Every day. We're forced to. You know, that's the situation that we're in. Riley says, I'll wear the mask, the ritualistic mask for money. We do all kinds of things for money. I don't hate my job, but I wouldn't do it if I didn't have to. You know what I mean? Yeah, Lori, rebreathing CO2 is unhealthy. The mask is horrible, no doubt. But you know how a lot of us seem to agree. No one's really pushing back on me about this mask in this group. No one's saying, but Shawn, you should wear the mask. So this is a tough group, but a lot of people shame the shit out of you for having that opinion. And I'm sure that since you share it with me, you know what I'm talking about. But the gaslighting and the shaming for having that opinion, for not wanting to wear this mask, and for even pointing out the fact that it doesn't even make sense. People lose their shit. They're so programmed. Yeah, we are slaves. Lori said we are slaves. Slavery never ended. It was reimagined to include us all. That's what happened. It never went away. They rebranded it. They got more creative. They figured out a way to include everybody. Joan says, have somebody make you a nice thin mask. I ordered one. It hasn't arrived yet. I've been looking for it every day in the mail. But I ordered me a cloth one because I don't like the ones that they make us wear. Lori probably knows which kind I'm talking about, but it's the hospital kind with the little rubber straps that go around your ears. And they pull really hard and it hurts your ears. I don't like them. You know, after the whole day, my ears start to hurt. So I'd rather have something softer. Lori said, I have headaches every day at work from mask wearing. I never used to. It is the mask. Am I right or wrong, Lori? You're a nurse. I'll take your word for it. Am I being crazy, or is this mask making me more tired? Because I feel like I'm more tired. Every day I'm exhausted. I'm tired right now. I didn't used to be this tired at this time of day. But every day now I'm exhausted. Helen says, I don't know what happened to my comment, but it contains the words Gates, Africa, and vaccines. In the words of Chandler Bing, could they be more obvious? What happened to your badge, too, Helen? Look, I ran a poll on Facebook, and I've been running a lot of them, and I'm going to tell you, I'm disappointed in a lot of you, because vote in my damn polls. Come on. Don't you guys like polls? I discover shit late. I'm late to the party a lot. But I had these groups, and I've had groups forever. I just discovered that you can still do polls in groups, and I love polls. I love to get people's opinion and ask questions and share ideas. And people aren't voting in my polls, and it's making me really sad. Doc Connector says, CO2 acidifies the body, and the stress causes the cortisol hormone to decrease the immune system. Yeah, I watched these two doctors sit and explain the whole damn thing in a video that gets taken down anywhere you try to share it. Lori says I'm right. I knew it. It's not healthy. I know that. I got no medical training. I'm no expert, but I know I feel different after wearing this mask for prolonged periods of time. Steve says if some sick COVID person sneezes on you, you might wish you'd been wearing a mask. Dude, you can't sneeze on me at work. They got plastic barriers up everywhere. I don't know if you've been to a restaurant recently, but man, you can't even get at me. Dude, it's hard for me to hand you a drink. And you ain't allowed to get your own drink no more. Not where I work. Somebody got to get that drink for you. That's too dangerous. To let you operate the soda machine, that's too dangerous. You ain't qualified for that shit. Somebody else got to get that soda. Dot says exactly about slavery. The U.S. citizens are bounded surety debt slaves, responsible for country debt. It's an absolute fact. And they're open about this shit. It's out in the open. They didn't hide it from you. Lori says, sneeze all over me. You're damn right. You know, George Carlin has a bit about how your immune system is your body's army. And it needs germs to practice on. It needs something to fight against. So I let it run wild, and I do pretty good. But I'm lucky. I'm a healthy person with a good immune system. I'm blessed. But as a healthy person, I don't worry about it. I don't worry about germs at all. And I give my immune system plenty of practice. Plenty of stuff to do. He says more fuckery. What's going on, Heath? Helen, you did. You are a champ. Helen is top fan. How in the hell? Does Helen not have a badge? I just remember what I wanted to talk about. We got to cover that on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Helen had a badge for one episode. One episode, she was top fan. She is here every day. Every day, and comments all throughout the show, participates with almost every post on the page, was top fan for one day. There's a conspiracy on Facebook against Helen and badges and rewarding her in any way, I think. They got it out for Helen. Carlin was a prophet. Helen is a goddess. Helen is awesome. Helen is awesome. Helen's one of the first people I met doing these. And however I've done it, I've kept her entertained, and she's followed me along through these different transitions. I've been lucky. So she's one of the cool people that I've gathered along the way, but there's a lot of them. I've been blessed in that way. Even with the throttling, that's the thing that makes me keep going, doing this. Because we've been open about this before. There's no future in this, you know? Like, look at this. We're throttled, we're suppressed. I was monetized on YouTube for all of 4 months, and then demonetized. Channel will probably eventually get pulled. It'll get harder and harder to spread stuff like this. I am looking at other avenues, like a website, things like that. But it's going to get tougher. It'd be much easier if I just wanted to talk about bullshit. It sucks when you want to do something of value, especially if you want to tell the truth. Because that's getting harder and harder and harder to do. You got to tell me about that Zoom thing, because I don't know nothing about Zoom. I only used it for a book club. I was on an internet book club, and we used Zoom, and then my boss uses it for conference calls. Helen is a badass, and she has a black belt in sarcasm. Hey, Nissa. What are you doing today, Nissa? I know it's going to be something cool. Nissa's always doing something cool. Steve says COVID seems to make some people's immune systems overreact. Your own immune system is what kills you. I hadn't heard that. Yeah, Heath, we're throttled and they still can't stop us. I can't see how many people are here, which is good. I don't want to. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. I just want to act like there's 100 people here and we're just having a great time. Because it bugs the shit out of me. That, you know. But you can't, that's why you can't have nice things. Because we got a bunch of greedy psychopaths in charge of everything. And they own it all. And they think they can do whatever they want with it. And we're allowing them to do it. If we would just come together, rise above the propaganda and all the bullshit, we could tear it all down. It's an illusion. Their power over us. Our real enemies would fit in this room. And this is not a big room. There's not that many people who are leeches on society. You went to the ocean and now you're home. I told you did something cool. Don't try to downplay that shit. You went to the ocean today. Now I realize you live close by the ocean, but that's badass. I didn't go to the ocean today. See? You did something cool today. I told you. Joan says, don't ever let anyone get you down about this show. You do a great job. This is unique, and if it wasn't, I wouldn't be a part of it. Am I down? Kind of down, aren't I? You know what? What it is some people have gotten in my head this week. We're not at the hour mark yet. I usually don't let myself get personal till the hour mark. I try really hard to be professional. But in 24 seconds, no, I'll go ahead and tell you. Yeah, a couple people in my personal life have chosen this week to kind of shit all over what I'm doing. You know, and it's really bugged me. But I didn't mean for it to come through. I'm transparent. Babas tells me this shit all the time. Like, you can see everything on my face. I can't hide nothing. Like, my eyes speak for me, and I wish I could, but I can't. I can't hide it. I'm not good at pretending. I've been told that it's cool that I'm real. I can't be any other way. You'd see right through me. Too transparent. Helen says I'm fluent in sarcasm, all right. Hold my own and snarking up. You almost got me to say it. You almost got me to say the C word, Helen. Dot says this is the best truth channel on YouTube. What? Dot. That is a big compliment. That is a big compliment. I want to be. I don't think I'm there yet, but thank you for saying that. That was very nice. Slay says sometimes you have to stop being so forgiving when people do you wrong. See, I work real hard to keep people in my life that disagree with me. I don't know why. Because, well, if I feel like there's something of value there and that I can learn from them. There are people that I've completely burnt the bridge and they're completely out of my life. I definitely have those, and a list of those. But I'll put up with a lot if I respect you or, or any of that. And I do put up with too much. But I take it to heart. Like, I'm sensitive. I believe that shit. Like, I didn't tell y'all everything. Like, I get negative comments sometimes, mostly about appearance. Like, I have a face for radio, but I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when it's somebody like that I like or respect that doesn't dig what we're doing. It should be fine with me because that's okay. And I don't know why I let it bother me. I shouldn't. That you're transparent, Jennifer? Are you transparent too? I can't hide my emotions. Like, you can tell what's going on. I can try. I thought I was doing a decent job, but apparently it was coming through. Lori's going to the ocean 4 days with the family next weekend. Can't wait. Dude, I only went to the ocean one time, and it was, where was it? I want to say West Virginia. Is that right? Is that on the coast? I don't even know if I'm right. But again, I'm going to go with it, Dot. I wanted to say it, so that's what I'm going to say. But we went there on a family vacation, so it was the ocean, but it was like brown and not warm, and it was regular sand. Like, it was just not what I imagined. I don't know what yours is like, but I was still fascinated with it. I love water, big bodies of water, and that was amazing. Even though it wasn't like pristine and beautiful, it was amazing. Just looking at that, just endless in all directions. And it was weird being in it, like walking out into the ocean. Wasn't brave enough to go out past where I could touch. I wasn't that brave because it's freaky. Like, it's just weird. Like, you just feel like you're entering a different world. Helen says I have a face for radio and a mouth for cable. In reality, I have a mouth for cable too. I've been letting it come out a little more though. I'm still realizing that I have censored the shit out of myself for a while. And I guess I kind of grew. It depends on how you look at it. I like cussing. But I've taught myself well not to do it. Lori said, I get to see my daughter's son-in-law and grandson's first time in 4 months. You're over them. Oh my God, I bet you are. That's awesome. Jennifer says, that's okay. That's who you are, and it's a good thing. At least that's what my husband tells me. It is a good thing. It is. I own it. I own all of it. But Slace is right. She is right. Said, don't waste your energy on that. Do you. We all love what you do, and that's what matters. Aw. You guys are awesome. Like, a lot of times, because I really feel like the experiment tonight, I feel like it didn't go well. How did you guys think? What did you think of that? I mean, it was the first go at it, so I'm not being super hard on myself. But and a lot of times, I should say this too. A lot of times, I'll think something went wrong, and then I'll watch it back, and I'll be like, "That wasn't as bad as you thought it was." But it felt weird to me. It didn't feel right. Something felt wrong with it. Joan says you don't yell and force your opinion on us. You respect us enough to let us have our own opinion, yet you still give us another side to think about. I think what's cool what we've built here. I think it's really neat. Hey, Dion. Man, good to see you could join us. You liked it, Brent. Okay. See, I'll probably watch it and be like, wow, that actually went better than I thought it did. You know, but there was the things, there was the hiccups. I'm a big perfectionist. And like when we transitioned back, the camera didn't work twice in a row. Remember? Oh, I'm still thinking about it. You're right, Lori. I overanalyze. But and I usually wouldn't allow myself to talk about this kind of stuff. But we're past an hour now. We are 6 minutes past an hour now. So we can talk about anything we want now. And I kind of haven't just hung out with you guys in forever. So I thought it'd be neat to wind down and just hang out. It is Full Bowl Friday, after all. So Helen says I can't not cuss. Cuss in front of the grandbabies, too. They all cuss, but they know how to do it properly. I could cuss really good when I was little. My parents cussed all the time. I'm very good at it, and it's second nature. So I did train myself not to, though. For a long time, I was trying to be real careful because I was convinced that made me sound unprofessional. Jones says, I think it was a good idea. Sometimes you can understand things better with visual aids. He says, oftentimes we're hardest on ourselves. Oh, I'm my own worst enemy. I'm going to admit something that's a little bit of a guilty pleasure, but Pink, I like Pink. Pink has a lot of songs that I really relate to, the lyrics of, but this one especially, about being our own worst enemy. That is me 100%. I am out to get me. I am. A lot of times I got to check myself. Like, I'll doubt something or I'll second guess myself all the time. And like I was doing tonight, it was like 6:30, and I'm like, I was ready to abandon the whole plan that I had spent 2 hours setting up and picking out stories and reading them to make sure that I'd be able to talk about them. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm scared. I'm scared it's not going to work. Jennifer said, it's just a little bit of programming to get rid of. Doesn't matter if people don't like you. The ones that love you matter most. Very good point. And I realized, Lori been telling me, and I realized she's right. It's censorship. Helen said it too. It's censorship. You're censoring yourself is what you're doing. And when I thought about it, I realized it's true. Because a lot of times I'll be trying to make a point, and that word, a swear word, will want to be the word that comes out, and I'm trying to pick a different word, and I'll lose my train of thought, or the rhythm will be wrong. You know what I mean? So many things go wrong. It's just no good. Dot says it was fine, and Slay says it was fine. And I'll find out when I watch it back that it went better than I thought it did. I will. You know what it was? And I'm going to drop it right after this because I realize I'm going on and on about stupid shit. I didn't like the part with the old man part, because as soon as I started talking about it, I realized I hadn't looked into the pictures of whether or not it was fake. It still looks super fake to me. The old man being pushed down. I watched the video again today, and I'm like, this looks so staged. He said I'm an absolute perfectionist. Especially, and I often get hung up on the smallest little detail. Yeah. Well, I care about this, and it's important to me that I don't just give you bullshit. So I put a lot of work and effort into it, and I'm emotionally involved in it. And I have a lot invested in of my own. I get attached to you guys. I like this. I like hanging out with you guys, and I like talking. I like what we've built here, and I like this. It's actually become something really cool. When you consider when we first started this, I didn't really know what it was going to be. I had no idea, and this is what it's become, and I like it. I think it's evolved into something nice. Yeah, just be me. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing, so I'm going to stick with what I know. Yeah, it's important to cuss properly. If you're going to do it wrong, don't do it. That's some of the funniest shit, especially, and don't think I'm making fun of anyone that speaks more than one language. That's an amazing skill. I only speak one. If you know more than one language, you're already smarter than I am. But don't try to cuss in your second language. You know what I mean? A lot of times that makes you have some of the most hilarious speech. People that don't fully have a grasp of the language but want to throw out the slang and the cuss words. It's a stereotype, but it's true too. It happens all the time. I've been cussed out by someone that doesn't have a strong grasp on the English language, and it was hilarious. Helen says the main one trying to censor you is hardly ever here and doesn't have a product themselves. Since they already realized I was subtweeting them when I said that stuff, Helen, I think they realized that because things seem to be different now. I don't know. I didn't want them to realize it, but I think they did. Lori said, Facebook friends. Report their friends. Watch your friends. I can't be careful. I mean, I'm not that diligent. Philip has tried to teach me how to clean my friends list. I don't have the patience or time. You know what I mean? I try to let it clean itself. How can I make it clean itself? That's what I usually do. Helen says shock and awe works when it's a little kid cussing too. It used to be really hard because my mom would get on us because, I grew up around people that everyone cussed like a sailor. But, the adults never wanted the kids to do what they were doing. So, but I was like a teenager, and my brother and sister from my mom's second marriage are 11 years younger than me. So when they would cuss her, they'd say a cuss word or something, I would laugh. It's hilarious when little kids cuss. And she would always get on me. Don't laugh, don't laugh. You're encouraging them. Like, you're the one encouraging them. You just said fuck like 15 times in a row. Me laughing didn't teach that word to the kid. It's hilarious. Brett says, I was once called a son of a turtle. It was an Asian. Just does not have the same ring. Have you ever looked at some of the Asian t-shirts? I want to collect t-shirts from Japan. Some of the Japanese t-shirts with American phrases on them are fucking hilarious. Because something gets lost in translation, and a lot of times they turn out just like that. And they're just weird. It's funny. Lori says some people are just snitches. Well, snitches get stitches, Lori. And you can get stitches on Facebook. But I try to self-clean my Facebook friends list. Joan says, put up more posts like you did that one day and keep doing that till your list is all cleaned up by itself. I do that from time to time, Joan. You'll see me do it again. Helen's been there through a few purges. And you know what? No matter how hard I try when I purge, no one cool ever leaves. I think even because sometimes I'll let people know what I'm doing and sometimes I won't. But even when I tell them or don't tell them, nobody cool leaves. Nobody I care about. I can't say that it's never happened, but it's rare. Helen says, when my friend count ticks down, I check other posts and see who agrees with stupid comments, and there they are with blue add friend box next to their name. Lori says, I block fact checkers and delete suspicious friends. How do you know if they're a fact checker? Just because it's in their profile, I mean, what do you do to find out if they're a fact checker? Lori says, some are here to report you and won't leave. It is reality. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. There's money in it. You can be a professional troll. And a professional snitch, I'm sure. But I have wore my notes out, and I am so tired. And I know it's the damn mask. I know it is, but I am past my bedtime. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on Full Bowl Friday, especially this last 20-minute chunk, because we just been sitting around talking, and I really appreciate that. Because it's I'm gonna say something, lift the veil completely. Why not just be 100% honest? Sometimes I'll wrap up and I'll be like, I just kind of wanted to hang out and talk. So thanks for indulging in that and letting me just kind of hang out with you guys and vent and talk as a group. That was cool. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you Monday for the next episode of the Shawn Yankey Show. Maybe we'll try the navigating the internet again thing and work that out and get that mastered. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.